Welcome back to the channel. So in today's episode, I do the longest ball joint replacement of all time. So in all honesty, I needed to replace a CV shaft. My passenger side front CV shaft was leaking. I noticed it when I came back from a trip after getting towed, and it was sitting there leaking. So I was like, I gotta replace it. And then when I figured while I was there, I might as well do my ball joints because, well, BJ's go good with everything. So I ordered a new CV shaft on Rock Auto, a new Cardone one. This cost me $85, just about Canadian dollars, and it looks like this. You know, it's a CV shaft. And then I ordered the Terrain Tough by Mevotech ball joints, upper and lower, which look like this. So that's the upper, sits in, and then it has these little plates that go in under the control arm, and it all bolts together like that. Anyways, that's the upper. I paid $38 just about Canadian for that. And the lower was $59 Canadian. And the lower is the same thing. This is encapsulated by the control arm. And again, it's got a plate. And I'll pull it out of the bag. It's got the big old plate that fits on top of the control arm, bolts through to the bottom. And I bought these Terrain Tough ones. They were the most expensive ones on Rock Auto, but they're still reasonably priced. So I just thought, F it. I am probably going to try to push this van a little bit further than, intended. So, yeah, I might as well buy the Terrain Tough ones. I thought this would be relatively simple. So I started doing this job on Remembrance Day, lest we forget, which is November 11th, if you're not in the know. And that was over 2 months ago. It's like 2.5 months ago or something like that. And this took me so much longer than I anticipated. And all of that time was not spent sitting there slaving away working. It just took me too long to do it in the daylight hours. And then the weather came, and then we had catastrophic flooding here in Abbotsford. And then we had snow. And then we had cold weather, and then we had more snow, and then it's the holidays, and then more snow, and it just never got done until now. So one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do this, because again, I needed a CV shaft, so it had to be done, but I was like, I'll do the ball joints because the originals are riveted in, and I thought, like, if by chance I broke one out on the trail, it would be a total pain in the ass to have to do like a trail fix of a ball joint. And I was 100% right, because doing it in my driveway, like with the grinder, and I ended up just drilling out the rivets, because people say you can pound them out like pretty easy, but that's not what I found. But if I had to do that on the trail to get myself back out of the woods, it would have been a total nightmare, and it's like functionally not doable. But anyways, these ball joints here, I ordered these from Rock Auto, and this lower ball joint never came with nuts. So I had to use the return service on Rock Auto, which I will say was very prompt, and they very quickly, like within a couple days, sent out all new hardware for the upper ball joint, which is not what I needed. So I don't really want to blame them, because frankly, I probably claimed my deficiency on the wrong product by chance, which is just stupid, which is 100%. That sounds like a thing I would do. So I never really checked that hard, but I do kind of blame myself for that. So I did have to go and pick up some grade 9 or whatever hardware from another store, and I think this is going to be strong enough, in my opinion. Like, these are all stamped like 12.9, and this is not quite as strong, but it is grade 9 hardware. So I think it's going to be good to go. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but I'm going to head out to the van and I'll show you the process of the longest ball joint replacement of all time. So removing the CV shaft and the ball joints is like pretty straightforward as the process goes. You have the axle nut, you have the upper and lower ball joint castle nuts, you have the tie rod, and then after that, the whole hub kind of comes off. Oh, the brake caliper too. It all kind of comes off pretty straightforward. And then the hardest part is drilling out the upper. There's 2 bolts on the upper control arm that needed to be drilled out, and then all 4 rivets on the bottom had to be drilled out, and that proved to be an absolute nightmare. But taking off the caliper and like getting to the ball joint is actually like pretty straightforward. I had a brand new blowtorch, so I used it with a little heat, a little bit of the hammer, but it all came off pretty easily, pretty straightforward. And actually, as I was grinding the heads of the rivets off the bottom, the sparks actually cooked into my camera lens, so it ruined my camera. So this sucked, taking this apart and drilling, and it also ruined my camera. So this job just plain old sucked, and I don't want to do it again. Welcome back to the longest ball joint of all time. I don't really know where I was at and what I have filmed, because I did wreck my camera last time I was doing this. So I started this job on November 11th, Remembrance Day, lest we forget. And it is now January 21st or something like that, of literally a whole new year. So I'm back. I've rearmed myself with not 1, but 2 sets of drill bits. I got multiple new chisels, a whole new set of punches, and I got 2 charged batteries on my drill, which I can't find. But yes, this took me substantially longer than I intended, but I'm going to get to where we're at now. So, new tripod too, new camera, new tripod. So my upper is bolted in, my CV shaft is in, and when I was doing this, the interior is stub shaft. So inside, there's a shaft that goes from the diff to the CV shaft. And that came unclipped. So basically it's the same clip that the CV shaft has. It has that on both ends. So sometimes that comes out. I checked online, that's totally fine. So as long as I didn't damage the seal or anything when I was jerking the thing around, it should be good to go. So I'm at now, I have all these tops of these rivets drilled off. They have now rusted because it took me so damn long to do this. So I'm just gonna try to get these out. I will say this took us way longer than I thought it would to get these out. I thought I could just kind of hammer them out like pretty easily, and that's 100% not the case. So like I said, I got 2 new sets of drill bits, so worst case I can drill them out. I was drilling out with mediocre drill bits before, half broken, and anyways, I was just messing around. So now I'm getting serious. Gotta get this van on the road. So I'm gonna go to town here and get these out, come hell or high water, and then we're gonna move forward. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 rivets out. And this thing is about to pop. Fuck. Victory! So that took me 2+ hours today. I probably wouldn't do this again. I have opportunities for the other side because I have the ball joint for the other side. I do have people that reached out to me that let me use a hoist and or an air hammer. So I would probably do that. But realistically, I might pop for the whole control arm with the ball joint in it if I was to do this again, because drilling out / punching these out by hand, absolute nightmare. But I am done, so I'm gonna keep moving forward and put in the new ball joint. And then again, to put it back together, it's just relatively straightforward. It's kind of a pain getting the hub on there. It'd be a lot easier if I had 2 hands, but I kind of like to do these videos solo, just so you know what it's like to do it solo. You know, like this would be so much easier if I had a shop and a partner, but just doing it solo outside is like real life, you know? I should have done the brakes while I was in here. They're actually pretty rusty, and I think I might actually just go ahead and buy some new brakes. But I should have done it when I was here, but I didn't plan that far ahead, so that's where we're at. Okay, and the final step is to tighten up the axle nut. I looked online, it said it's kind of important because it houses your wheel bearing. That should be at 147 to 200 foot-pounds of torque. So I got this thing set at 450. No, about 150. And this is honestly the first time I've ever used a torque wrench in my life. Black Friday deal. That's how long ago I thought I was going to get to this. Get tighter. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's a done deal. My van is on 4 wheels for the first time since November 11th. So, you know, that's an exciting time. I will get this thing running pretty quick here. One thing I have to do first, I did just order an Ironclad Metalworks passenger side seat swivel. So ideally, I will have that done tomorrow, but we'll see. But anyways, that's the end of this episode. The longest ball joint replacement of all time. Have a good night. Peace.